Today is November 30th, and it is day 55 since the war between Israel and Hamas has begun. Here in All Israel News, we're bringing you the news as experienced in many families in Israel in their living room watching Channel 11. The main headlines are that Mia Schem and Amit Susna, two women, are released earlier than usual during today. Mia was the first that was recorded during the captivity and broadcasted into Israel. Amit Susna, she is a lawyer, and they were both released. 8 more are supposed to be released today, and we don't know if when that will happen. Here we see Mia and Amit being released, transferred from Hamas to the Red Cross. In the background, we see Gaza and the ruined buildings. This is yesterday, Gali, one of the youth that was released and returned home. This is the first hug of Mommy after over 50 days in captivity. And here we're going to see Mia's mom that is receiving the phone call she was expecting for so many days and nights that her daughter Mia is coming back home. And with these joyous emotions, we're wondering what will happen tomorrow, where the temporary ceasefire is supposed to stop. And all this is happening while this morning there was a fatal shooting attack claimed by Hamas in Jerusalem. Harav Elimelech Wasserman, he's 73 years old, and he was killed. Chana Ifergan, 67 years old, and she was killed. And Livia Dickman, 24 years old, she was killed. And this is when the military arm of Hamas is taking responsibility for this attack. The anchor woman is saying that everything can happen in the next few hours, so Israel and the IDF are ready in every front. And she's asking, what is Israel going to decide tomorrow? He says the War Cabinet has met last night. The War Cabinet is meeting tonight, and they're saying, what happens if Hamas does not submit a list of another 10 hostages to be released tomorrow? Well, Israel may need to begin fire again. Now, anyway, on Saturday, these days of temporary ceasefire are over. So the assessment is that Israel will start firing again on Saturday morning. That's what it says right here. The War Cabinet will get together tonight, and the assessment is that the IDF will renew fire in 2 days. That means on Shabbat. In the next few hours, this is an expectation that will be a release of 8 more hostages. The report is saying that Hamas is acting unusually because usually he sends a list and he submits the list of the hostages to be released the next day. He sends it already in the morning, and now we haven't received any list. So Israel is tracking minute after minute in anything that has to do with the next stage of release. The reporter is saying that there is an American pressure on Israel to reduce or to limit the war. It says there's a disagreement or dispute between America and Israel regarding the continuation of the war in Gaza. And here we're going to see the first video of Mia's mom meeting Mia in Israel after 55 days in Hamas's hands. It says the first meeting of Mia Schem with her mother. There is Mia and there is her mother. And we hear the weeping, and the mother is saying, you're with me, Yafa sheli, my beautiful one, you're with me. The anchor woman is reminding us that Mia was the first one that was documented in captivity by Hamas and released that video to Israel. And we see the bandages on her right arm. She was wounded on October 7th. Hamas said they treated her in a basic way. Right now she's treated in the hospital in Israel. The reporter speaking about the flawed medical treatments that Mia and other hostages got once they're wounded. They did get treated, but in a flawed way and in a very basic and unprofessional way, such that promotes even infections. The report is also saying that with the 130, 140 hostages that are still left in Gaza, about a third of them need medicine because they have chronic diseases. And what they understand is that they are not getting these medications, and it's endangering their lives. like Elma Avraham, in Israel, she's released and she's in Israel and they're fighting for her life. This is back to the shooting attack this morning as some are receiving their loved ones back from hostage. Some are forever separating from them. This is what it looks like at 7:30 in the morning in the entrance of Jerusalem. 2 armed Hamas terrorists just get out of a car and start shooting civilians in the bus stop. Here's an eyewitness that says that they came out of the car, the terrorists, they turned their guns to the civilians and started splattering bullets. And he saw at least one that was splattered and, on the floor. 3 were killed, and 7 were severely injured. And he's from the Israeli Red Cross that came, he says, in 30 seconds, they were already there, and he checked one they were lying on the floor, on the street, and he had to check each one, who can he save? He's Akiva Schwartz, and he's one of the wounded. And he says the terrorists just were splattering bullets everywhere. I was running away, I got injured, I didn't know what happened, I felt something in my leg and I was limping and running at the same time. And here we see 2 soldiers that are usually fighting in Gaza right now in this war, but they're in 2 days of a break. And they took their weapons and killed the terrorist. Here is one of the fathers says that he engaged in battle, and that's what they hoped he would have done. That's what they educate him at home, to engage if needed. He's speaking about one of the civilians that had a gun, comes out of the car with a soldier, and he tells him, go away, run away, and he's shooting the terrorist as well. This is Rav Elimelech Vesserman, 73. He's a rabbi, and he was killed. Chana Ifergan, 67 years old, also killed. She was a principal in a school in Beit Shemesh. And here's Livia Dickman, 24 years old. She's a teacher in a school in Beit Shemesh as well. When the police searched the terrorist car, they found so many weapons there. And these 2 terrorists are residents in East Jerusalem. Both of them were held in Israeli prisons for many years. They are strongly affiliated with Hamas and they have been connected to many terror attacks already. Here's Prime Minister Netanyahu says that he just met Blinken a few hours after the shooting attack, and he's telling Blinken that this is the same Hamas that done the terrible massacre on October 7th is the same Hamas that is doing this shooting attack as well. This reporter is saying that there was a warning that was missed regarding this terror attack. Here we see them. Palestinian residents actually from East Jerusalem warned that this may happen as a revenge. The reporter is saying is that Morad Namer, he was sitting in jail for many years. He was released in 2020. And he was one of Muhammad Hamada's best friends. They went to the same mosque, they prayed in the same mosque, they studied from the same Islamic teacher. Hamada was assassinated in Gaza a few days ago. He was a senior in Hamas. And Muhammad Nimer kills today as a revenge that his good friend was killed a few days ago. This reporter is saying, is giving a few more details about Nimer. He sat in jail for about a decade because he was spying for Hamas and he was part of planning different terror attacks. This story is about the youth that was released yesterday from Gaza, about the reunification with the parents. This is expanding more stories and details about who these kids are, what their homes look like right now. But they're reunited with their families. For more stories, go to allisrael.com, follow us on social media and YouTube, subscribe to our channel. This is Rotem Magen for All Israel News.